Haribo, love. Before we continue with your Venus in your sign, let me ask you a question. Have you ever noticed how two people can want love just as badly, but they reach for it in totally different ways? That is Venus. Venus shows you how you give and receive love, what you are drawn to, and what feels beautiful to you, and what you will not compromise on. And when we read Venus through the signs, you start to see your patterns with so much more compassion. Not to judge yourself, but to understand yourself. So in this video, I'm going to show you what Venus in different signs means in real life, how it loves, how it fears, and what is secretly needing, and what it needs to soften back into its natural sweetness. If you're watching and you're thinking, yes, this is me, then stay with me. This is going to feel like someone finally put into words something that you've always known. So let us begin right now. My name is Vinodini Dasi. I am a Vedic astrologer, author, and practitioner of the ancient Vedic arts. So if you are into Vedic astrology, ancient knowledge, and self-development, make sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you never miss any of the nectar. If you would like to learn Vedic astrology with me, check out the workshops that I'm currently doing at this time. And you can always get a reading with me. In the description here below, you will learn how to book one. If love has felt confusing lately, this might explain more than you think. Today, we're going to be talking about Venus in the sign of Scorpio, and this placement tells the truth about what your heart is truly asking for. Venus in Scorpio is a very passionate and intense placement. This is where we definitely say that Venus becomes a little bit in detriment because Scorpio is a very intense energy. The keywords for this is an active passion and love, okay? These are the people that want to truly fuse with their loved one. They don't want a superficial relationship. They want a deep relationship. And they definitely love to be intimate not just psychologically, emotionally, but also sexually. These are the people that really need that deep, intense connection with their partner. Now, when we have a favorable Venus here, when it's in a good house and it is well aspected and it's very strong, it can give you some very good results, like the desires. You are a person that desires love, but can be independently as well. So you have the energy to be independent, but also you desire love. And it is because Scorpio, it is a sign that is ruled by Mars. So there is this very powerful passion that is created between the divine masculine and the divine feminine within the person who has a Venus in Scorpio. They also have full expressions of passions. They really need to be able to have this ability to be uninhibited. And their passion is not just a sexual passion, but also a passion for what they love doing, for what interests them, and a full-on passion for their partner. They like to express these things. They like to shower their partner with deep connection, deep love, deep presence. And they want that from their partner as well, that it has this deep connection. These people cannot handle some aloof, distant, detached sort of relationship. They need somebody who's also there with them. If you're a male with Venus in Scorpio, then you definitely will benefit from marrying a Scorpio woman. And if you're a female with Venus in Scorpio, this is how you express your love and the love that you need. So here also, it makes you quite charming because of that sort of, you have like that sort of sexual appeal, that sex appeal, that you naturally gravitate people with that very intense sexuality and that very intense sensualness about you. There also is that very strong energy of charming. And now also we may have an energy of adolescent energy. So these are the people that can love like how they loved in high school all their life, with that passion, with that beauty, with that charisma, with that like my heart in my hands, and in adolescence is when you're like losing your virginity. So also like the discovery of all of that is like these people can really hold on to that energy throughout their lives, and that's how they want to experience love with their partner. They also protect their own interests. So as I mentioned, they can be very deep with somebody, but they also like to have a little bit of their own individualness, because Scorpio is a sign ruled by Mars. So they need to protect their interests. They need to protect what they love, what they're interested in. These are people that love the occult, love conspiracy theories, love alternative things, love taboo things. They can love astrology. They can love divination. They could be great readers in this way as well. Also deep healers of the psychology. They can love psychology, psychiatry. They can love all things that are like how to heal the shadow, how to heal the mental realm, how to heal from trauma. Somatic healers, very good somatic healers can come out from this Venus in Scorpio naturally. There is also a love of action and adventure. Okay, these are people that like adventure. They like action because of that Mars quality here. So it is passionate, it is active, it is deep, and it wants to have this adventure. It wants to have these passions. It wants to take action into what they love doing. There's also a love of debate. So because it is ruled by Mars, there could be this energy of, I like to debate. I like to mentally, get deep into things. Why do you feel the way you feel? Why do you think the way you think? Why do you think that happens? Why do you think that thing happened in your childhood? Like, they're not afraid to go there. They're not afraid to get vulnerable, and they're not afraid to make the person that they love also vulnerable, because they believe that through the vulnerability, there is the powerful transformation that they have been looking for, that cathartic sort of energy that's going to lead them into a transformation in their lives or the lives of others. So they like this debate energy. And so don't take it personally. Don't take it bad. If you're dating somebody with Venus in Scorpio, it's just that this is how they express their love. Also, they could be very artistic naturally, because there's that passion, there's that focus. Scorpio is a very focused energy. That's why it has the stinger. So when these people focus on something creative or focus on some sort of expression of creativity, they could be really good at it. They could be very, very good at it. Actually, I've seen some great dancers that come from Venus and Scorpio as well. They could be very artistic, very actors. Great actors can also come out from this, because they're able to tap into the psychology of the character, understand why it is that they act the same way or this way, their fears, their desires, and they can tap into these energies and passionately express these characters. So Venus and Scorpio people can be very good actors and public speakers naturally. They have that intensity, they have that rawness, they have that penetrating energy for making cathartic moments in the stage where people really feel that transformation as well. And also very slow to age. So these people have the longevity vibe. They can go for a while, okay? So they have this longevity bug where they can really live for a very long time, and they kind of age very slowly. So if they were to tap into any sort of things that also make them age slower, it would be fantastic for them, creating even a more longevity energy. Now, if Venus is retrograde, badly aspected, in a difficult position, or in a difficult malefic planet is aspecting it, then we can get some different results that could be unfavorable. If any of the things I'm about to explain you may be experiencing, then I highly suggest that you do the Venus remedies. I have a video for Venus remedies in my channel that you can understand more how to upgrade and boost your Venus in Scorpio and get more of the favorable qualities. So when it is badly aspected, we can experience high passions that turn into arguments. Now, this is when like the toxicity can easily come into the relationship, because you get jealous, or there's a jealousy thing, or your partner gets jealous. So these passions, sometimes I've seen that maybe Venus and Scorpio people may try to test their partner to see how much they are loved, to see how much they can withstand, to see that, okay, if I'm really difficult, but you still stay with me and you don't abandon me. So this can turn into a little bit of a toxic energy. So this can turn into arguments very easily. There could also be a lot of broken relationships fraught with discord. So again, A lot of broken relationships may come from too much passion that is not being directed in the right way, too much arguments that come up, too much fighting, too much testing of love, and too much sort of passions not being met. These are the people that are like, I love to fight and then make up with sex. So again, that could eventually erode the relationship if it's not with the right person. Now, if you're with a Scorpio woman, they most probably can take it if you're a male. So that is something that naturally can happen here. Also, there is this sort of energy of temperamental. They're very sweet, but then they get angry. So there's this sort of temperament that is a little bit stingy that the Venus in Scorpio can naturally create. So temperament of being overly sweet, and then you get angry, and then you get pissy, or then you get sweet, and then you get sexual. So that is also something that can show up when Venus is debilitated here. There could also be a lot of jealousy. Yes, when Venus in Scorpio is not in the right balance, it could definitely turn into a lot of jealousy, a lot of enviousness, a lot of like, why are you talking to that person? What is this? Checking phones. Things like trust issues can easily come when the Venus in Scorpio is not well placed or well balanced in these energies. They could also be focused on their own satisfaction instead of like the mutual satisfaction of the relationship, especially also emotionally and sexually. So that could also create problems in the relationship, as well as thinking themselves devoted, yet have meaningless affairs. That could also happen when Venus is in Scorpio, and it could create some issues and problems to truly find that deep love that they're really looking for. Little social elegance. They might be a little raunchy, a little intense, a little in your face, shocking. So that could also be showing like a Venus in Scorpio a little bit debilitated here, and also likes things that are associated with low-class people. So they could be attracted to kind of like the darker side of life, the drugs, the whores, the strippers, this more darker side of life. That can also get something for them to get attracted to, instead of kind of being more in a righteous path. So that could also be showing a sort of debilitated Scorpio, Venus in Scorpio situation here. So yes, I've seen this happening with some of my clients as well. So if you're experiencing any of these issues, negative issues with Venus in Scorpio, then I highly suggest that you go do the Venus remedies. That is going to help you to boost your Venus and to bring more of the good qualities of Venus in Scorpio, to maintain it strong and powerful. And also, if you would like to learn Vedic astrology with me, check out the workshops that I have in the description here below. And also, if you would like to have a reading by me, then I highly suggest that you book one in the description here below. You will find the link. Please let us know in the comments, Venus in Scorpio, how you feel connected to these messages. How has Venus in Scorpio really shown up for you? And this is the best place, because this is where you're going to find your peeps who also have Venus in Scorpio. So we love to hear from you. Those are your messages. Thank you so much for the likes, for the hypes, for the comments. And I'll be seeing you guys on the next video. Hari Bol and Hari Krishna.